on and then talk to you about the reason I'm trying to appeal to restaurant, bar, and event venue owners. So the court case got delayed again. Well, that's a total pain in the ass. That's a win. Like, Cuomo knows he is losing. He is backpedaling. So this time the delay is to the 23rd because there's supposedly no Zoom schedule, like there's no Zoom availability for the 18th. I don't know what that's all about, but that's what we got notified. That's the reason that the court granted this extension. So he's definitely looking he's looking to buy time. This is my totally uneducated opinion, non-legal expert opinion. I think that they're trying to delay to the 23rd, so then they can say, well, let's just wait till after Christmas, so let's just wait until after the New Year, because the courts will be closed in the New Year. I don't know if that's the case, and our attorney didn't imply that was the case. So we've got until the 23rd. For us right now, gyms and salons are open. Well, that's great, but what about everybody else? What about everybody else that needs to be open? Listen, I'm not a restaurant owner. I'm not a venue owner. I don't know. I don't know exactly why I'm leading this charge, other than the fact that I believe in freedom and I want people to work.
Amen.
I don't know what every restaurant's going through. I can only imagine what you're going through. You have my word that I'm fighting for you guys right now. I can be open. Everybody needs to be open. We need to live as free Americans.
Amen.
So what's going to happen? What am I seeing happen? Paul, again, he's asking me, hey, just avoid the civil disobedience right now. And I told him, okay, hey, Roger, but at some point, we're going to pass the Rubicon, and there's no coming back from that, and we're just going to go.
Right.
And if you don't want to defend me, that's on you. And he absolutely said, hell no, I'm with you to the end. This is a fight that I think we can win. So you do what you need to do, but I'm gonna defend you no matter what you do. So we're going to continue to hold tight. I see this as shaping up in a couple of ways. Governor Cuomo is going to put us in red again, so he can close everybody. If that's the case, I'm not closing. I am not closing. I have a generator set up already, so if they want to cut my power, I have the generator set up already. I've got propane getting ready to get dropped off and a Renzer propane heater, so I can have my own heat. I can bring water, and I've got porta potties ready to get dropped off. So I'm set. If they want to cut everything, they can cut the power, they can do whatever they want. They can arrest me. Due to coronavirus, it's only appearance tickets, so I'll be right back out on the street. I'll cut the bolt off my damn door, and I'll take my building back.
Hallelujah.
That's a fact. So I'm staying open. I'm not closing. It's almost to our advantage if they go back to red and close everybody, because that is just going to foment so much support for us. That's not a bad thing. If they go to red, I'm staying open. I think a whole lot of other people are going to stay open. If they don't go to red and we have to wait for this court case, one of two things is going to happen. We're going to win the court case. Awesome. We'll be able to open everybody up. Or we're going to lose the court case, in which case we open anyway. So it's just a matter of being patient, which is so hard to do when you don't have money to pay your bills. I wish I had an answer for you on that, and I know this is not all very exciting news for you. I know this is painful news. In the event that we are still closed, he doesn't go to red, we're still closed, and we lose the court case, I need restaurant owners to open up. And I know what I'm asking. How many restaurant owners do I have here? I see Mike. Awesome. Yeah, I'm sorry, please tell me the name of your place. The Kitchen. That's right, the Kitchen. I know I've got some restaurant owners here. Hey man, I know that I'm saying stand up and let the state liquor authority possibly take your damn license. I get it. That's a decision you have to make. I can't imagine the weight of that decision and the implications of that decision. I can only tell you, I can only fight for you if you're willing to take incoming rounds also. Now, if only 2 of you are willing to take incoming rounds, we're lost. So that's the whole point of me having this meeting on Saturday for restaurant owners. I need 100 restaurants to stand together and commit to be like, we have to be open. Let them take your freaking liquor license. The government only has the power we allow them to have. Let them take your liquor license. We will continue to serve. We will continue to serve alcohol. We will continue to come to your restaurant. We will continue to do whatever the hell we want to do, because this is America and the government works for us.
Amen.
Just like you show up at your gym, you can show up at your restaurant.
Yes.
Yes.
But don't get me wrong. so easy for me to ask you to put your liquor license on the line. Holy shit, that's a monstrous decision. I don't ask it lightly. Right now, I don't have another course of action. We're trying, and I know she's doing some amazing things with like potentially becoming like a private kind of club, private entity type. There's all sorts of stuff that we can work on. I don't know how that's going to shape up. I just need Saturday. I need some restaurants to show up and say, hey, I'm in. I'm willing to fight. I am willing to stand up and live or die on my feet rather than beg on my knees.
I mean, I right by in between Erie County and Iowa
Yeah.
County, and I would stop at different store or like the stock bins and the beer project at different places. That can I give them the time and place of where to come if they're worried about because Stockman's is closed.
For the meeting, you mean?
Yeah.
For Saturday's meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yes. I'd love to talk to as many restaurant owners as I can get. I want there. Hopefully the health department shows up. I'm happy to have them. I'm happy to invite them. So it's at noon on December 19th at my gym.
Can we go over tonight or something?
Your address on California Road.
3646 California Road, Orchard Park.
Athletes Unleashed.
Yes.
When you were talking about restaurants
Yes.
having their licensing open, I do hair, I don't do anything but restaurants. What if, say the health department goes in and pulls his license for liquor?
Right.
Can he just say, well, hey, you know what, we're bring your own? And
Well,
customers can come in, bring
right.
their own, and you charge them
So
for it.
your question
You're
is, what if your question is, hey, if his liquor license gets pulled, can he just keep going? Does he? Listen, I'm not an attorney. I don't understand. I don't know jack shit about the damn law. All I know is we got certain rights, and I'm a free American, and I'm going to stay open. Regarding that, so
But if a customer
right,
brings their own
yeah,
in,
I'm trying to answer that question. If a customer brings it in, the majority of profit for restaurants come from the sale of beer and alcohol. To lose that source of revenue, like margins on restaurants are freaking insane. And I'm not speaking from a position of authority, but margins are like on food. I don't know how are you even making money on food. It's beer and alcohol where they're gonna recoup that. So if they give that away, that's freaking crushing.
But there's probably ways you can get around.
But remember,
I don't listen. I don't know, and that's a good thing to go. That's a good thing to discuss, but not right now with me.
Russell's Steakhouse,
Yeah.
you bring your own wine, and they have an uncorking fee.
But do you remember
$30
how we
to
just
open a bottle for you.
Yeah.
what we just watched, and I'm gonna send the link to Robbie. It's illegal for them to take his license, and with all these people and many more standing behind him, we will knock down the damn doors of the courthouse if we have to. They cannot take his license, it's not legal. We have the proof here, he's gonna have it in front of him, he's gonna show it to him, he's gonna call the constitutional law group if they show up at his restaurant and tell him that he can't have everybody in there and they're gonna take his license. That's terrorism, it's domestic terrorism. We now have the tools to tell them that, and we have the words, and if they continue to press, we will charge them with domestic terrorism, and that's a heavy sentence to carry. So, I know, I appreciate what you're trying to do, you're trying to get around these little mandates and executive orders. We don't have to go around them. We can walk, we can trample right over them.
I want to emphasize something you just said. Getting around mandates is not a solution.
No.
So in other words, so there was a gym that like redesignated itself as Republican Party headquarters, which is creative, it's inventive, they stayed open, but they're not living free.
Right.
I will not be on my knees.
Amen.
I'm living or dying on my feet. I did it for 14 years as a Marine. Nothing is going to stop me from doing it now. I am not living on my knees.
Amen.
Period.
And that's what we're about, and that's what I'll send you that link.
Yes.
We just watched it, but she told us, she's gone through the laws. That lady has taught law and constitution for years. She knows what she's talking about. She was good, right? Yeah. We do not have to lay down. This is not the time to lay down and
She's
swerve
talking
around things.
about
We gotta
Peggy
stand
Paul,
dead
the
center,
healthy
face
American.
them on, and take them on, because they are anti-law people.
They
We
only
are-
have the power we give them.
That's right.
They only have the power if we recognize that as legitimate power. They work for us.
I want everybody, I'm gonna send you out an email with all the important data for his meeting on Saturday. I want you to go to every restaurant you know, I don't care where it is, mail it out, stop there this week, encourage them to come. They're gonna learn some stuff they didn't know, they're gonna get some courage, they're gonna find out they have friends, and we're gonna try to teach them to open and know their rights so that they don't have to stay closed. They could open tomorrow morning if we could get them to open. And we could all go there just like this instead of y'all having to be stuffed into my little shop.
We appreciate it. You don't have liquor either.
I want to clarify something for Marie, so that people know what to expect if they show up at my gym on Saturday for this meeting. Marie is doing an amazing job disseminating this information about natural law and the avenue that you're pursuing, and I support that 100%. That's not my wheelhouse. Marie is doing that. She's doing a great job. That's not my wheelhouse. I am personally not talking about it because I don't know enough about it. So when they come up to my meeting on Saturday, the only thing I'm trying to do is get a bunch of freaking motivated, free Americans that own restaurants and bars and venues to say, I've had enough. I'm stepping across the line. I'm in. I'm opening. That's what I need to have happen. I need to look people in the eye. Listen, I'm a spit in the hand and handshake kind of guy. I don't need them to sign anything. I need them to look me in the eye and say, I'm opening. That's what I need. That's the point. And then if I can redirect them to you, I'm all for it. I want them to have that information. The more rounds we can put in the chamber, the better it is. And you've got some really valuable stuff. I just want to make sure everybody knows, man, don't ask me about that stuff. I don't know about it. I'm the let's get into the fight guy. That's my avenue. My avenue is let's get into the fight. That makes sense? 3646 California Road. Roger. Awesome. And I want to share some important. Did somebody have a question?
Well, I have
Everybody gets them today.
Okay, so it's not in the package,
This is a separate, this is a business owner's packet. This is for you guys to make up today before you leave. Stuff them into envelopes, take 5, 6, 10 of them with you. Go to every restaurant you know, every business you know, and pass these out so we can get people open. Yeah, this is for you guys to take.
But would it also make sense to send the restaurant owners a link to the website with some of those videos that she talked about? So
Sure.
they can watch the videos?
Yes, we can do
So that
all
when they go to Robbie's meeting, they have a little bit more education behind them? Because I'm all about education and knowing what you can and can't do. And if they see some of the videos, then they show up to Robbie's, then they're.
We just need a link to the one,
Yes.
they can connect their information there.
So I want to share one more piece of news for you, and then I'll get out of your hair, I promise. So I had a great conversation with the Erie County Sheriffs. Right, that's what I thought too. I reached out to them, how I went to their bunker. I reached out to them. I kept calling them. One of their, a high-ranking official from the Erie County Sheriffs was kind enough to call me back and talk to me. We had a great conversation for about 20 minutes. And I think it's important that I share this stuff with you because, man, I fought for this country for 14 years. Like, I love cops. I was a freaking jackass when I was young. They kicked my ass when I was young. They helped straighten me out, put me on the straight and narrow. I love cops. They do, we all do here. It did not sit well with me what we did to the sheriffs that day. When I say what we did, we got in their face and we tossed them out, and I wanted that to happen. I mean, they were amazing what they did. The guys that tossed those sheriffs out were great. But think about the message that we gave right there. In retrospect, this is just my personal beliefs. I think I could have handled that differently. I love what happened that night. We set a tone. It's what needed to happen. It was the shot that was fired. It was the right thing to do that night. In retrospect, I think I could have personally handled it differently. And I talked to the sheriffs about that. And I wouldn't share this with you if it wasn't the truth and I didn't believe it. They have not made a single arrest of a business owner since this whole thing happened for being open. And he said we will absolutely not arrest a business owner for being open. He was very specific in what he said. Sheriffs only enforce laws, not mandates. That was straight from the sheriff's mouth. So, as distasteful as it was to have the sheriffs there with their sidearms on, you can imagine what that looked like. It was an intimidation factor, right? At least to us. We're like, what the hell are these guys doing showing up at the Department of Health? He swears that they're there to protect the health department. They're not issuing any arrests, and it's not for an intimidation factor. So my commitment to him was, okay, well, I'm going to treat you guys a little differently the next time you come. The next time you show up, I'm going to treat you a little differently. I get that. But you've got to follow through on your end. He is absolutely 100%. They're not arresting anybody. They're not enforced. Mandates are not enforced by sheriffs. So unless you're smoking crack and opening your business, you're not getting arrested, right? You've got to be breaking a law to get arrested. That makes sense? Please, I hope that brings a little comfort, knowing that, hey, the sheriffs aren't freaking, they're not coming for us. They're there to freaking you know, do what they need to do for the Department of Health. They don't want to be there any more than we want them to be there. But I think that a lot of these guys will be more inclined to join the party when we treat them like we want them to join the party.
Well, the only reason I think we did that is because we knew they were
Yes.
going against what they took their oath for.
Joe, I agree.
Right.
And I think that we responded, I think it was amazing the way everybody responded. It was amazing.
We respect them 100%.
I don't regret doing it that way. I think going forward, I would like to personally handle it differently until we see that we have to handle it that way again. We did not do the wrong thing.
You wouldn't have gotten the national coverage if you had done
Right.
Gone viral. I mean,
I agree.
really, that's what did it.
I think you guys are
it.
amazing.
And I think you got gym owners and stuff in New York City and stuff, they're starting to do this stuff.
Yes.
Power,
Yeah.
it was empowered.
Yes, I don't disagree. I think the way it was done was good. You guys kicked ass. Are you kidding me? Somebody asked me if I wanted them there, and I said no, and the next thing I know, done, gone. Like, you guys were freaking animals. It was amazing. It was amazing.
I think that energy was more or less like aimed at the DOH workers.
Yes.
I knew the sheriffs were there.
Yes.
I didn't get disrespectful to them, with the exception that the heavy set one, you know, he started like quoting like, you know, Cuomo's mask and stuff. I'm like, dude, you're not here for that. Okay, we're trying to address this, so get them out of here. And, you know, you're saying you're protecting them. Well, protect our rights too, because they're here illegally right now. That was the message. The message wasn't about, you know, me going after sheriffs or Pete going after sheriffs or anybody going after sheriffs. It was they were enforcing something unconstitutional, and they're there unconstitutionally, you know, protecting somebody that was there illegally. That's like you know, going to a bank robber and saying, hey, you know, we're just going to give you an escort to like rob this bank. You know, it's like, no, that's illegal. So I still respect the sheriffs, you know, but they should you know, probably have a little. They should have came to the door by themselves and said, hey, listen, these people want to come in this property. That would be the appropriate manly thing to do, you know. And then if you say, well, no, you're not welcome here, boom. Sorry to, you know, interject, but I didn't want people to think that my thought was to disrespect the sheriffs, but they were also there enforcing something unconstitutional and wrong. So that's my aggression. I don't even call it aggression. My whatever you call it was directed at DOH.
Response, your response.
Well, I appreciate everything you said. I think you were spot on. I think what you said tonight was spot on. I'm glad you reinforced that. I think nobody doubts your intention. I think you were spot on the way you reacted. And you're the reason, and the folks that supported you and that stood shoulder to shoulder with you are the reason that we got national attention. It's what needed to happen. And going forward, I think we can continue to lay the law down. I personally am going to try a slightly different technique with them. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean that what you did wasn't freaking awesome, and that I didn't disagree with it. I agree with what you did, and I appreciate that you did it. Going forward, I just want people to know, you know, the sheriff's reached out for a reason. This is a good man. He's on our side. He's caught in a little bit of in a hard spot. I've been caught in hard spots before. Hell, I'm caught in a hard spot now, trying to navigate this thing and trying to build coalitions and get law enforcement officers to side with us. It's you know, it's a tough spot. I appreciate what you did, and I wouldn't want to change a thing. In the future, I'm gonna try to handle it a little differently. That's not a critique or a condemnation of how it happened. Hope you're hearing what I'm saying.
No, I know. I hear you.
Was anything mentioned, like where the county stands as far as jurisdiction of, say, you know, they're all your county, but how does the towns work? Do they have to follow some?
I've got a great answer for that. Again, this is all unofficial answers. Let me make sure I understand your question. Erie County covers all of Erie County. What are local jurisdictions going to do? Like, how are the local police agencies going to handle this stuff? Again, I can only answer unofficially, but I've spoken now to 2 individuals. They're at the top of the food chain in 2 local police departments. Personally, they've come and talked to me. They are not going to enforce anything. The last thing they want is to deal with any of it. And I can vouch for them. They wouldn't have reached out if that wasn't the case. They are not interested in enforcing mandates, and they can't. They can't enforce mandates.
Few towns we find that they're not really on our side, so to speak.
Okay. Right, I don't know what your reaction there, I'm not arguing with you.
No, I was just questioning if maybe you did, something like that did come up in your conversation.
The two towns that I've talked to are like, listen, you're on Easy Street, we support you, we're not here to enforce mandates. And I would recommend reaching out to your local law enforcement. That's what I did. Reach out to your local law enforcement. So you've got to know some guys or girls that are out in the force that can get you a conversation with somebody that might be, higher on the pecking order and talk to them. Like, they want to talk to you. They want good interaction with the population,
What about fines? Nobody has mentioned fines here.
Your question is about fines? Go ahead, I cut you off. What was your question?
I heard Stefan Ohio, I heard him on the radio saying that he wasn't gonna cash any checks, and I haven't heard anything since then. Have you been fined, and where?
All right, so your question is, what's going on with fines? What's the status of fines? Is Stefan Ohio, the comptroller, still following through with that? Is that your answer? Okay. I want to qualify my answers by giving you, the perspective. I don't work for the county. I don't work for Stefan Ohio. I can't answer officially. I can only answer what I talk to him about. I talk to him fairly regularly. Yes, I've been fined. No, I'm not paying it. I think it's due on the 19th, and I don't give a shit. I ripped it up, and it's not getting paid. If they arrest me, I'll get a release because it's just an appearance ticket, so I don't give a shit. Stefan Mahailu committed to not cashing checks. He has frozen the Department of Health account. He is now in receipt of all checks that get sent in. Those standards that he set are in fact in force. So I don't remember the exact breakoffs, but it's 0 to 1,000. He had like 25 years, 1,001 to 15,000. You had 50 years, 15,000 above. You had 100 years. Those are all in effect. So not only will I not be sending a check in because he's not going to cash it, I'm not sending a check in because I want them to come after me. Come after me. I'm not paying your fine. Come after me. Come get me. Come cuff me up. That will be a PR nightmare for them. So I'm not paying. So for folks that are worried about fines, I wouldn't pay them. What are they going to do? I'm sorry?
Fox News, national TV. He went on Fox News. He
Right.
was Tucker Carlson. So
Yeah, that's right. No, it's legit. He's done that, and I know people are saying it's against the state constitution. I think polling cards are saying he couldn't do it. He absolutely can do it, and it's done. And again, I'm just trying to. I want to preface this. I don't work for the county, so I'm just talking, just doing talking. Are there other questions? I want to get Marie back in business here. Yeah.
What about Trump Jr.?
What about
in his comment on Twitter about you?
When did he do that?
First day.
Oh, a long time ago. Okay, I got you. Yeah, Roger.
What do you feel about that?
Nothing. Roger, good.
He says, America needs more of this.
God, hey, listen. God
Yeah,
bless him. That's so far
absolutely.
above my pay grade. You know what I care about? I care about the people in this room right now. God bless Donald Trump Jr. I'm all for it, but
Who cares who Trump is? It don't matter.
yes.
What's the name of that, police officer? Nick.
What?
What's the name of that, the sheriff that, the English guy?
I don't know. I had to look it up on Facebook.
Okay.
I forgot.
Well, the one guy that was there, Bradley, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
When we were at a business meeting, there was a woman here, and this is an FYI, that owned a bakery. He actually has gone into her place 4 times harassing her and her staff about the masks, because she won't allow the masks for the bakers because it's in such a high heat situation, they can't wear it. So I question about your sheriff, me personally, does he know this is going on?
It was prior, though, it was prior to Robbie's situation when he went into the bakery by himself, which is accurate. He did go without the Department of Health. But it was prior to Robbie's. I think the sheriffs took a different angle on it since Robbie's situation, and that's what you're hearing them tell Robbie now is
Get
the
my
angle
little
that they're
British
now
suit.
taking is kind of hands off.
Okay.
And basically just secure whoever has them.
So that woman should not be up there, sheriff going in there and saying.
We're fully aware of that, and yeah, it's my move.
All right, guys, that's it. Just give a round of applause for Robbie. Thanks.
Appreciate your time.